We got Making Pasta and a $2,500 cheese wheel by Nick DiGiovanni. Let's see this.
Today we have an 80-pound wheel of Parmesan cheese straight from Italy. I just wanted to cut right to the chase, but it's still sitting in the lobby of my apartment, so let's go down and grab it.
First off, spending $2,500 on a cheese wheel, I don't know the price of cheese. I don't know how expensive cheese could get. That seems a little ridiculous. Like a little ridiculous, okay? Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
What are you doing?
The wheel of Parmesan cheese.
Okay, why are you in my room?
Can I just open it here?
Can you open it? Yeah, no, you're gonna invade my privacy.
I got it.
And open it. Oh, you're prepared.
No. Vinny, you always like to see the packages.
I mean, this is true. You normally do have some fun stuff.
Oh, man.
Oh, this looks pretty legit.
Seriously legit.
He's so good at this.
Why is it packaged like that? I feel like I would have never expected a cheese wheel to come in a package like, you know, like an actual like Amazon package. Or is that just me? Maybe I'm just tweaking.
Pretty damn cool. Ah. Come on, Nick.
Come on.
You know, they don't teach
Use
you
those
that
muscles.
flying day. Get there.
This is so...
Terrible lifting form. If I did that, I would have fucking... If I did that, I would have pulled my back. I was about to say I would have blown my back out, but, you know, pause.
All right.
Look at that. Look at that thing.
Look at...
There's a barcode on it.
Bro, that thing is fucking massive.
What's that?
What the fuck? Actually, hold on. Let me make sure that my mic is, like, good. Hello? Maybe I want to turn it up just a little bit because it's a bit farther from me. I think it's at max volume. All right.
You invaded my privacy. I think it's only fair that I get a piece.
Can I just wheel this to the elevator?
I would say that's probably best.
Let me turn these fucking captions off.
Thanks, Vinny.
Oh, you're welcome, Nick.
All right. Oh, nope. I'm stupid as fuck. We can turn annotations back on.
Now let me just tell you, this thing was not easy to bring in. What you're looking at right here is a Parmigiano Reggiano straight from my homeland of Italy. And you know,
Spell that right now. Yo, don't look at the screen. Spell that right now. Parmigiano what the fuck did he just fucking say? What?
it's funny, I've been trying to get this thing in for weeks, months even, but the first time around it was damaged in transit and I have no idea what that means. All I know is I got a notification as it was on its way that something had happened halfway through its path. Maybe someone decided they love cheese.
He just goes and just like, doesn't even cut it, nothing. He just fucking chomps it. Chomps the outside of it. He wants it so bad. He just takes it and he's just like, you know, just fucking, just destroys it with his mouth.
And just dropped it on purpose so they could take it home. But the important thing is, it's here now. Now I want to talk a little bit about this before we go and cut into it. But the first thing I want to say, because I have to say it, is that it smells amazing. Oh, God. Now there's something really cool about a Parmesan wheel like this.
Like, it can't smell that good.
About this before we go and cut into it. But the first thing I want to say, because I have to say it, is that it smells amazing.
Bro, it cannot smell that good. It can never smell that good.
Now there's something really cool about a Parmesan wheel like this. The first thing that we see all around the side is Parmigiano Reggiano, but there are more specifics that we can get into, which are quite cool. This large stamp right here is just a quality stamp, where the number right above it tells us the farm that it came from in Italy. I love that you can trace it right down to that very spot. Over here is a seal from the producer itself.
Okay, wait, is this like, is the outside of this like a casing, or is it like the actual cheese? Because I feel like that's a little bit weird to have on actual cheese. It could be. I don't know the culture.
That we can actually just wedge out with one of our little Parmesan knives. Now if I spin the wheel, there's a little something right here you'll see that says DOP. This stands for Denominazione di Origine Protetta, which means protected.
Oh, he's Italian. Okay.
Designation of origin. The Italians don't mess around with their cheese, so what DOP tells us is actually from Italian law. Sort of like champagne coming only from Champagne, France. This shows that this is legitimate Parmesan, i.e. it's either from Parma, Reggio Emilia, or Bologna. The last thing you can see as I spin it around is February 19th. Just like fine wine, the longer Parmesan is aged, the nicer it typically is. This wheel right here is 24-month aged, and you can actually sell Parmesan before it's been aged at least 12 months. So
how does cheese making work? Like, I thought all foods were just like, I don't know if I'm gonna sound stupid saying this. I thought all foods were just like, if you age it for a certain amount of time, it's just bad. I feel like aging foods for a year is just kind of like I wouldn't want to, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to eat that. But that's nor here nor there. This shit could be fire. You know what I'm saying?
this is a pretty good wheel of Parmesan cheese right here. Let me put it this way. I don't have anything left in my piggy bank after this one. All right, so here's how it's gonna go down. We're making pasta inside this wheel, but first we have to cut it in half. So we're gonna cut it like this. I wanna show you these two knives, because this will be the first knife that I use. And I just thought I'd show this in comparison to this, the knife I typically use in videos. We actually don't need my regular chef's knife, so I can toss this aside. Now to start, we're gonna take this cute little knife right here and score around the entire wheel of Parmesan. What's actually really cool is that they pretty much give us a line right down the middle to perfectly do this scoring. For right now, I'm just trying to get that initial line. I'm gonna come back around it again to get a deeper line, but for now, this is all I need. Once I've gotten this nice line around the cheese, I'm actually gonna take the back.
I know he's a chef, but like that's impressive. It's impressive to cut that straight. Bro, I would have sliced this thing all the way up, like so badly, it wouldn't even be funny. Like the fact that he's able to actually get it like around just like completely straight. It doesn't look like there's any like imperfections, bro. W Nick.
Corner of the knife instead of the top, which will allow me to dig in a little bit here and slowly go back to further solidify that line. Now I'm basically...
Is that like a cheese? I don't know if you just said it or not, but is that like a cheese cutting knife? Is that like... I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm just here watching the video.
Starting to dig into the actual cheese itself to get into that rind which we need to cut through. Because this is such a beautiful piece of cheese, I'm really trying to do it justice here with nice clean cuts. Now we've got another knife that we're gonna use here. If you can see up close, it's a very weird shape, very specific to a cheese like this. And it has this extremely sharp knife tip here.
Okay, so it is a cheese cutting knife. It's a specific knife for cheese cutting.
Push that into my cheese and then pull really hard to start cutting that rind. This thing goes through like a breeze. And you can see that when I leverage it like this, the rind comes right out just a bit. Now we have these tools, which are basically wedges that go into...
Bro, why is there so many tools to cut cheese? If I had to do this, I'm literally just taking a knife and just... You know what I mean? Just getting through it. Just getting through it.
The side of the cheese to leverage it over. This to me is the part I'm most looking forward to. I think it's gonna be satisfying to finally have that cheese pop. We're gonna pick an area right on the side of the cheese and wedge this all the way in. And as we go, we'll go back and forth a bit to start to break the cheese apart. Once that's in, I'll...
Okay, so my question still hasn't been answered. Is the outside edible or is it not edible?
Wedge it just a little bit back, turn my wheel of cheese, and go to a space just a little bit over. Same thing here, I wedge it all the way in there, moving that around to break apart that cheese, and then bring it back again. Now, I'll spin my cheese around to the other side, and wedge another one in, shifting back and forth to break that cheese open. Then, I'll remove that first wedge, spin our wheel again, and go in on the opposite end. This right here is an arm workout that I could have never imagined. And I'll repeat this process until the wheel starts...
I mean, that thing is probably so dense. Like, that shit's probably like, I don't even fucking know. If it's a year old, and that, I mean, you gotta think. He's a grown man, you know what I mean? He was struggling, I say loosely, lifting that. So that thing's probably like, it's gotta be like 25, 50 pounds. If he's struggling lifting it, like, I don't know, bro. It makes sense why it's an arm workout. That shit probably feels like fucking metal.
Feel a little bit looser, at which point it's basically just gonna crack. I'm not kidding when I say that this is actually a legitimately really good arm workout. And I used to go to the gym quite a lot, but I pretty much haven't been since COVID started. Now to try to finish things up here and open this wheel up, I'm gonna wedge all those levers somewhat close to each other and start kind of lifting and pushing up to see if it's gonna give. The fact that it's still not willing to go tells me...
I really want to see why, like, I need an explanation as to why you can't just cut it down the middle. You know what I mean? Like, I want to, I want to know. I really want to know why I can't just fucking take a chainsaw and just all the way down the middle. I really do want to know.
I think that there's probably a few spots that still haven't been touched over here. So I'm gonna put in just a little bit more work with some of these wedges over on the edges. Now I've gone around the entire wheel with these wedges and I think we're ready to pop. Oh, whoa! What? All of that hard work has paid off. When it cracks open,
Bro, that shit looks disgusting. Oh my god, maybe I'm just a picky eater, bro. Maybe I'm just a picky eater, but like I don't know about that one.
like that, you get these beautiful flakes of cheese. This gorgeous, almost crystal-like hunk that you've gotten here, you simply can't get that any other way. Opening a Parmesan wheel by hand is truly something special. I know I've already taken a few bites, but I have to try this cheese while it's so fresh like this, because I don't know how many times in my life I'm gonna get cheese this fresh. That cheese has more Parmesan flavor than I even knew Parmesan could have. There's almost these tiny little crunchy crystal flakes.
Bro, and let alone Parmesan already smells bad. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I like Parmesan on a lot of food that I eat. But that shit smells like ass. Like, I hate smelling Parmesan. Especially when you put it onto food. I don't know, bro. That probably... Oh, wow. Wow.
When you bite into it. And it's so smooth, cheesy, and creamy. Without a doubt, the most mind-blowing Parmesan I've ever tasted. But of course, we're gonna fill this whole thing with pasta, so let's make that dough. To start our pasta dough, this one is special. So I wanna make a 12 yolk pasta dough. Yolks only. In my bowl where I'm gonna put the yolks, I'm gonna add in a little bit of olive oil, because I don't want those yolks sticking to the bowl. I want them all staying nice and whole. In this bowl here, I'll crack my eggs, then gently drop the whites in with the shells, which I can save for later. Those will make a nice tasty omelet. As for these gorgeous little yolks, I'll gently place them all into the bowl with...
I hate egg whites. I'm just gonna let everybody know that right now. Everybody that's watching the video, everybody that's in the stream, I hate egg whites. I tried cooking egg whites on their own not even 3 weeks ago because I've like obviously I've been on a diet and shit. Well, not obviously, but I've been on a diet and shit. And the smell that they give off is horrid, okay? The way that they taste by themselves is even worse. And don't even get me started on hard-boiled eggs. Oh my fucking god. If you can't cook a hard-boiled egg properly, it is the worst decision in your life. And I know it's also one of the hardest things to fuck up because it's just timing. But, like, holy crash out, bro. Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know.
The olive oil. I'll repeat this process very carefully with all 12 of my egg yolks, trying to keep them all whole and intact. There's nothing like making a beautiful handmade pasta dough with all fresh, intact egg yolks. All of you who subscribe to our channel probably remember the time that we made cured egg yolks and only had 12 yolks left, but broke one of them, leaving us with 11. This time around, I'm gonna try to make sure every single egg yolk stays fresh and unbroken. Now on our cutting board, we'll put down a little over 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Into the middle of the flour, we'll make a nice little well, and then into that well will go our 12 beautiful egg yolks. If we want, we can add just a little bit of olive oil here, and
bro, what? That shit is drowning in oil. Is this how you're supposed to cook? Like, I feel like he's doing something wrong. Obviously he's not, but it just like, I don't know. I don't like watching that. Oh shit, I gave it away.
egg yolks.
What's going on, Neon?
Such a satisfying thing to do. Slowly bring in that flour from the outside to incorporate that into your yolks, gently and gradually mixing until everything is nice and well combined. At this point in the process, I usually like to bring in my bench scraper, which lets me easily bring everything all together. Now we work through our dough. And after some pretty solid elbow grease, but nothing quite as bad as opening up that Parmesan wheel, we have a beautiful disc of...
I have made like pasta dough before. This shit is hard as fuck. Okay. What are you watching, Twin? I'm watching Nick DiGiovanni make oh, that's why my chat's not showing up. Because it's all the way at the bottom of the fucking screen. I'm watching Nick DiGiovanni make pasta in a $2,500 pasta wheel. Cheese wheel.
pasta dough. At this point in time, I'll take my ridiculously oversized plastic wrap and rest this in the fridge for half an hour. First, we're gonna carve out that Parmesan wheel because we wanna make sure that we have a nice bowl. I may actually be able to use some of these wedges, which will allow me to get some nice hunks of Parmesan cheese out of here. I absolutely love these rustic looking hunks that are coming out of the cheese. Just look at how gorgeous these are. I feel like,
Bro, I feel like, you know what? You guys know my opinion. I feel like that shit would taste like ass, but it probably does taste really good. I'm just picky.
I'm handling gold. Once I've wedged out lots of this cheese, I think I'm actually ready to start digging it into a bowl shape. I'll start by scooping out the remaining bits that are here, and then gradually starting to carve the shape with my spoon. If I can get this in a perfect bowl shape, it'll look absolutely gorgeous. Because of how compact this cheese is, you don't realize how much will actually come out of such a small portion of your entire wheel. I'd guess that you can get hundreds and hundreds of portions of cheese out of this entire wheel. And when I say portion, I mean those massive hunks. Could be in the 1,000 range with how
I guess that's probably why it's so expensive. Cause like, bro, I go to the grocery store. I pay $5 for Parmesan, but like, I don't know. I guess this is like the fresh bulk version, you could say.
Big this thing is. And once we've created a nice bowl, we can set our wheel aside. Now that our dough's been resting in the fridge for a while, I first want to show you how bright and yellow this thing is. That's what you get when you use all egg yolks. Now first, we're gonna hit this dough with some nice flour, really making sure that that's not gonna stick to a bunch of stuff. Then we'll take that same bench scraper we used earlier and cut this in half. Press out your dough until it's nice and thin, flouring a little bit as you go and optionally using a rolling pin to push it out even further. Once you're ready to go, push it through your pasta maker. We should get a gorgeous, beautiful, and smooth yellow dough. And as I think I've discussed before, I always like to fold it together and put it through a second time to get out any air bubbles. Once your dough is rolled out the first time, turn up the dial and start to roll it through on a thinner setting until you're ready to make your fettuccine.
Ooh, he's making fettuccine? Fettuccine? What do y'all know about fettuccine? Y'all don't know nothing about fettuccine. That is fire.
Once it's finished, we can roll out our fettuccine. Now we roll out the fettuccine, creating these beautiful strands
How many times is he gonna say fettuccine?
of pasta. Now we're gonna make a really fast garlic cream sauce, and then we're just about ready to fill that Parmesan cheese, so don't go anywhere. Chop off each of the heads of the garlic. For our garlic cream sauce, I'll add about a stick of butter and let that melt down. Once that butter is melted, I'm gonna take a few cloves of my fresh garlic and press this right in here. Oh!
Yo, funny story, bro. Hold on. Let's go back to just chatting for a second. Is it this arm? I was making steak the other week with my girlfriend, okay? Dog. I don't know if you guys can see it really well on the camera unless I go like really close. I burnt the shit out of my arm. Like that shit's never going away, right? For sure. That's all grease burns. All of these scars, it's all grease burns. Like, I did have the oil way too hot, but still.
I prefer a garlic press to mincing garlic any day, because it really just saves you from all those nasty smelling cutting boards and dishes. Now into this butter, I'm gonna slowly sprinkle in a few tablespoons of flour while still whisking. And this
unironically looks like the best part of the video, to me. And I know I've been saying I'm picky and this, that, and the next thing. This looks like the best part of the video.
will make us a nice garlic roux. Those clumps that you see in there aren't the flour. It's actually just that minced garlic. Once we've stirred this around a short bit and let it thicken, I'll add...
Rookie, I could handle that. Every chef can. Bro, you don't understand how hot this shit was. But also, when it first happened, I don't know how to explain it. I didn't really feel it. So it was kind of like, I was like trying to get it off my arm, but I was also trying to focus on cooking the steak because the pan was super hot and I didn't want to like overdo it. And I'm like just like wiping off my arm. I finished the steak and I look and there's still like, that's what this big one is from. There was still like a bubble of oil on my arm that I just didn't take off.
Add in about 2 cups of heavy cream. And then once I've let this start to heat up, I'll start grating in some of the Parmesan right out of my wheel. Can you imagine if I had the nerve to use pre-grated Parmesan right now from the store? Think about it this way. You can buy fresh Parmesan that's at least somewhat recently been taken out of a full Parmesan wheel like I've shown you, or you can buy pre-grated Parmesan, which has probably been sitting on the shelf a few years, but not exactly aging in the good way. Just think about that next time you make that choice. It's gonna be on your conscience.
There's no way Parmesan stays on the shelf for years. There's no way. Does Parmesan have an expiry date? Chat, do we have to look this up? Does Parmesan, that's how you spell that, right? Have an expiry date? Parmesan cheese does not have a definitive expiry date, but in the sense of a sudden point of safety, failure, but it does have a best buy or a best if used by date. Okay, so like typical foods.
Not mine. Once this thickens up into a really beautiful buttery cream sauce,
Or not typical
we can set
foods,
this whole
so
thing
I don't-
aside. And we're ready to cook our pasta. Once our water's boiling, we'll salt our water like the ocean, because we really want that salty flavor in our pasta. And once the salt has had a minute to settle into...
Bro, is that how much salt you're supposed to use? I'm listening to him because he's a master chef, okay? W Nick. But like that much? I feel like this is an ass load of salt.
water like the ocean, because we really want that salty
It literally changed the color of the water.
flavor in our pasta. And once the salt has had a minute to settle and dissolve into the water, we'll toss in our pasta. Now before we put in that pasta, we'll pour in a bit of white wine and light it on fire. You might not be able to see the flame right now, but you can probably hear it. And there's tons of heat coming off this wheel of Parmesan right now. You can probably start to see some of these flames of the fire, which is kind of faint, but still definitely there. What it's allowing me to do is sort of make a cheese sauce out of this, before we even add any of the pasta to that. And because it's so hot in there, the cheese is starting to melt in the base of my wheel. Now that my eyes are tearing up again and crying a little bit, because of all that alcohol that's just come off, we have this really warm cheese paste at the base that we can
It's interesting how people make shit. Like, I like to cook. I don't cook that often, but it's really interesting how people find out. Like, how did you even experiment? Like, why did you pour white wine inside of a cheese wheel and light it on fire? Like, who did that? Who was the first person to do that? Because I know it wasn't Nick.
use to make the rest of our pasta. We'll pour in that pasta, which of course we need to break apart a little bit here. Then we'll come in with that
thick cream sauce.
No, we're done. We're done watching the video. Why did he have to say it like that? What the fuck? Yo. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
letting it go all over that pasta. And at this point, I'll take my forks and mix this all in together to make our beautiful pasta inside that wheel of Parmesan. I have to say, this is one of the most beautiful...
That shit sounds crazy. And I'm not going to tell you guys the reason why. I'm going to just say it sounds crazy, okay?
coolest, most rustic things I have ever seen in the kitchen. And I have cooked a lot of things in my life. Just listen to that pasta sound. Just for some color, I'm gonna finish this off with a few chives. Before I dive in, I'm just gonna add a little bit more Parmesan right on top of this, because you can never have too much Parmesan cheese. It's time to take a little bite.
Hey,
Yeah.
dude, you still have my cart? I can't go home until I get this bag.
Who the fuck is this guy? Where did he come from?
What are you doing? Why are you laughing? What are you doing?
You want some pasta?
Oh, wow.
Alright,
Oh,
you know what? Vinny's gonna try before me.
you know what? I'm in. Hopefully this is good.
Nice, like, fresh pasta.
Oh, it's the same guy from the start of the video.
Wow. I think my taste buds are on Dancing with the Stars.
Is it good?
Well, yeah. That is damn good, sir.
pretty
yeah,
good?
Yeah, no.
So am I good on the cart?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's
Just takes the cart and just throws it at his head. I'm keeping this!
fucking fire.
Now we can't eat anything with cheese
What the? Yo, bro. What are we doing, bro?
before letting our furry little friend try it himself. So I'm gonna put pesto down, and don't worry, this is gonna be sanitary enough. I'm gonna scrape off this part of the cheese after. The funny thing is here, I think he's just gonna eat the cheese and not actually go for the pasta. And that's okay, because there's too much garlic in the pasta. But
That's
this
cute.
is probably one of
Okay, that's cute. I won't even lie, bro. I got a heart. That's cute. It's cute.
the best days of Pesto's life. Pesto, say bye to everybody, okay?
That's the
But
goal.
now, I think it's time
W pesto. W pesto.
to dive in. Let's give this a try.
He just throws up everywhere. It's just fucking terrible. He just spent all of this time, all this money, and just pukes all over the cheese.
That right there is some good pasta. Honestly, I'm even having a little bit of a hard time describing it. All of it is so fresh. I just feel like you can't get much fresher than this. I mean, sure, I can take a trip to Italy.
One of my goals in life is, you know how Nick makes the videos of, like cooking for influencers or like cooking influencers' favorite meals? I want to be on that, bro. I want to be on that so badly. I feel like that would be such a fire experience. I feel like that'd be such a I would pay him, dead ass. I'd pay Nick to cook for me. I'd pay Nick a good amount of money to cook for me.
Next time and get the wheel right from the cheesemaker in some beautiful old basement where they've been aging it for a while. And that would be a little bit fresher. But I mean, this is pretty darn fresh. One thing you may be able to see when I hold the pasta up close is how well our beautiful cream sauce holds to our pasta. What's great about that is that we've nailed the consistency of that cream sauce. That garlic in there is perfectly there, yet nice and subtle. The pasta is perfectly soft and has that light egg yolk flavor with that fatty, rich, and creamy texture that we look for in a pasta. While the entire experience of eating it out of the Parmesan wheel elevates everything in every single way. So much about tasting and enjoying food comes from your smell. And sitting in front of a Parmesan wheel like this means you're smelling all of that cheese on the outside of the... I'm
still advocating that Parmesan cheese does not smell good. But that's nor here nor there.
Wheel. Seriously, this thing is cheesy. Just looking at this gorgeous half wheel is so special. Now, before I finish, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. You are all the reason that I can get things like this and make videos like this. And there's lots more coming where that came from. All you have to do is make sure you toss the video a like and a comment there, which helps so much. Let's try to get this one past 100,000 likes.
W Nick. We're gonna I'm already subscribed to him, of course. W Nick video. All right, we're gonna get into schedule 1, I guess.